went ahead and threw this transmission on this engine stand. They work both ways. Well, we're gonna go through the transmission, change the seals and gaskets, put a shift kit in it, made it up to the engine, and throw it in this pickup, just mainly to get it out of the way. I've got sanded and all kinds of stuff to do, and I need to make all the room in here I can get. So that's our plan, and we'll get after it. The reason I got this put up here on the engine stand is to change the front and rear seals. I wanted to pull the pan off, obviously drain the fluids out, and change the filter, but I'm gonna go ahead and put a shift kit in it too. I got lucky and found a transmission that I knew. I got it from my son. It was a good transmission. The transmission that came out of that pickup, all forward gears were out of it. So I went ahead and got a different tranny, make it a little easier. And this one is a good one. Like I say, it shifted great. So we'll get after it, start by draining the fluids, and we'll go from there. While we're waiting for that fluid to drain out, I want to show you this. These are only $12, I think it was. And I have fought with transmission spilling out the tail shaft, pulling the tranny, pulling the motor, put bags over it, put pans underneath to catch it, and always made a mess. This thing is awesome. It's worth the money. I stopped yesterday and picked up seals. I'll compare these two seals, make sure they're the right ones. That one is correct. Just like that. Then I'll pull the filter off too. I'm just rolling it over to drain the rest of the fluid out. Missed. Done. All right, we'll get after the shift kit. But while we got this all ready to go, I've got this Fairbanks 2-stage RV heavy duty and street strip. I don't think we'll do street strip. I think we'll do RV heavy duty. And I don't know if you can still get these. This is one I've had floating around the shop for a long time. Just figured this is a good time to use it since it goes to this transmission. So anyhow, we'll just go step by step, tear it apart, and get this thing done. So we're gonna start by removing this detent spring for the shifter. So there's a total of 17 bolts, and I'm just gonna crack them loose here. Okay, so before we pull the valve body off, we got a kick down mechanism here we need to unhook. So we need to pull this pin here that's attached to the shifter mechanism. Just a little clip. This valve body should be loose enough here to disconnect that. Yep. And then we'll just gently lift that off of there. There's a valve here. Try to keep from dropping that on the floor if possible. There are 7 more bolts here on this plate that we need to get out before we can take the rest of this valve body completely apart here. Okay, pull this plate off of here gently. Now there are, underneath this little plate, 4 check balls in here. Be careful not to lose those. Shouldn't be stuck to that, but there's a lot of fluid in there that can be able to float one of them little balls out. And we'll set that off to the side. I'm just kind of cleaning off the surface, drying it up a little bit. Thought I'd bring you in to show you these valve balls. So there's one right here. That makes 2, 3, and 4. They're really hard to see in there. I had to look, make sure they were there, but they're there. So don't lose those. So this is the Fairbanks plate, the plate that come with the kit. And I need to drill a hole right here. And this plate here, I circled this hole. I need to drill a hole through that, actually through this plate right about there, somewhere in this area. But I'm using this plate as a guide. And this kit came, and I think most kits do come with a drill bit to drill that out. So what we need to do is lay this over the top of here, line this plate up with that one. And these holes vary just a little bit on these 2 plates, so I'm using these bolt holes as guides to get this one in the right place. Ensure that that doesn't move on me. It has a little burr, so I have a file. Okay, so this plate has the new hole, and this plate has larger areas opened up than the old OE plate. So this shift kit plate's ready to go on here. We'll get the gaskets together. And I need to pull these 3 check balls out to use on this shift kit. We will leave this one in. I'll just use a magnet, come in here and come in here and collect that one. 2 and 3. And again, we're leaving that one in right there. Okay, the instructions say to put a little Vaseline on this separator plate. And all that Vaseline is there for is just to hold this in place while we transfer. We know that check ball's still in there, right there. Set it on here into position. The kit comes with an oil transfer plate. Throw that down underneath the original plate. We want to torque these to 13 pounds. We'll install the valve body gasket and the valve body. 17 bolts, that's quite a few. That's a lot of bolts. And we'll torque these guys to 17 pounds or 13 pounds too. Reinstall this guy, this little guy. There we go. Okay, then we have filter. How's that going there? Filter gasket. Install these two little screws in here. Feels good and snug. There we go. That's not too bad. This cover out of there, that might be the hard part. There we go. Okay. It says to take that O-ring off and replace it. Replace it with this here new O-ring. It says to remove that accumulator spring. Lube this O-ring with a little ATF. And we'll reinsert this. Hopefully that goes easy. Oh yeah. Just like that. Now that's all there was to the shift kit. Put the pan on here now. I don't know if anybody ever really torques these, but it says to torque the pan gasket to 12 pounds. I got it handy. We'll do it. It's actually pretty easy to over tighten these. And when you do, you mess the gaskets all up and they leak, distort the pan, all kinds of stuff. There we go. And the transmission mount is shot. Got me a replacement here. There we go. Bottom end of this thing's done. After replacing the rear front seals, the O-ring in here, the O-ring on the dipstick, pan gasket, and the shift kit and all that, shouldn't have any leaks. Anyhow, she's all fit, shine, ready to go. Before I throw the transmission in, I wanted to show you this. This is the location for the transmission mount. And I don't know if you can tell, but right up in here, there's not enough room to pull these bolts out without lifting the cab. And I don't feel like lifting the cab. I need to move this cross member forward. This cross member was bolted right here, and there are several sets of holes for relocating different transmissions. I'm not exactly sure which set of holes we're going to use. It may not include any of these bolts. So what I'm going to do, you could either lift the cab, like I said, and pull these out. You could cut them off and pull them out. Or I'm just mainly, if I don't wind up using this one here, I'm just going to put nuts on them, tighten them down, and they'll be there for next time somebody wants to put a different transmission in. And anyhow, so I'm going to set this in here and then figure out which set of holes I need to use. I already mounted this engine and transmission together. We'll pick it up, set it in there. Right now is a good time to get this starter put in. You can get to it, you don't have to climb underneath there and fight it. Now we just got to throw this thing in here, and I have to figure out where to locate it in the frame. That'll take a little bit. I'm not going to bring you with me. And that'll button it up, other than I need to now do that later. I'm not in any hurry to get that part done, but I need to get a drive line made. So now that I have it in, I can actually measure it and make sure I'm getting the right length. It should just be a standard short box drive line for that Turbo 350. Other than that, just buttoning up carburetor, things like that. But like I say, I'm not in a hurry to get that done. I wanted to make room for finishing my bodywork, the sanding. I needed to get this out of the way. When you got fenders strewn all over the place, hoods and doors, takes up a lot of room. And then I'll just cover this all up really nice with plastic, just try to keep it clean and keep paint off of it, things like that. Anyhow, thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys watching and liking my videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks. See you next time.